Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here and welcome back to another video on The Fly Season 8, and this will be my trailer breakdown for The Fly Season 8 Episode 3 titled Armageddon Part 3. Obviously this is a 5-part event, and as we near the final couple of episodes of this Armageddon storyline, we are getting closer and closer to the climax, meaning things are obviously going to get crazier and crazier from now on. So if episode 2 is considered to be Barry's worst day ever, just wait and see how episodes 3 and 4 will play out. It's only gonna get worse and worse. Now, just giving you guys my quick initial thoughts on episode 2 before I go into a trailer breakdown for episode 3. I think episode 2 was one of my favorite episodes of the show ever. It's definitely in my top 10. It was such a great episode. Once again, I love how they utilized Barry as this leader, and he actually knows what he's doing as well, which was something I really loved. I love how Team Flash was used in this episode. Once again, a lot of the characters had very integral roles, and each of them played some sort of a significance in the episode. We got to know more about Despero's backstory, which was something which was very intriguing, and you do understand his motivations from where he's coming from. We got to see more really cool abilities of Barry through this new speed boost which he's acquired. And we had a lot of insane twists and WTF moments taking place during the episode. So much mystery being built, which really had me gripped all the way through, and those last 10 to 15 minutes of the episode were just complete WTF moments. It was honestly one of the craziest episodes of The Flash we've ever had. We just got slapped with continuous WTF moments. As I said, I would honestly put this episode in my top 10, and I'm very intrigued to see how everything comes to an end within these remaining 3 episodes. We did obviously have Barry asking Jefferson's help during the end of the episode to deal with injustice, and I'll be going over that in this trailer breakdown. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Now, unfortunately guys, I cannot play the trailer on the video due to copyright issues. I know a lot of content creators do play the trailers whenever they do trailer breakdowns, but for those who don't know, they do still get copyrighted. I just don't want to take that risk, so if you guys haven't seen the trailer yet, I will link it in the description down below so you guys could check it out, and obviously come back to the video so you can watch the breakdown. Now, before I get into the trailer breakdown as well, I will go over the synopsis for the episode, as it does give us a better idea in regards to what we should expect for the episode. So the synopsis goes as followed. Black Lightning, Ryan Wilder, Alex Danvers, and Ryan Choi appear. Barry meets Black Lightning at the Hall of Justice after things take a dire turn with Despero. Iris suspects something is off with Despero's vision of the future, so she seeks help from a very powerful ally. Javicia Leslie, Kyler Lee, and Osric Chow guest star, and those are obviously Ryan Wilder, Alex Danvers, and Ryan Choi. So yeah, this is a very interesting synopsis, and we will be having a plethora of guest stars appearing in this episode as well as episode 4. Obviously from the trailer and promo images of the episode, it does look like Black Lightning will be having the main focus, and this does lead me to believe that Batwoman, Alex Danvers, and Ryan Choi will be appearing near the end of the episode, and they will obviously be continuing on to episode 4. But yeah, breaking down the synopsis. Barry meets Black Lightning at the Hall of Justice after things take a dire turn with Despero. So yeah, from the ending scene of episode 2, we did see Barry going to the Hall of Justice and asks Jefferson to help him to deal with injustice. This is obviously due to Barry's mind supposedly going crazy to such an extent where it looks like he has done a couple of nasty things, such as nearly killed his friends at the loft, and then most recently caused chaos across Central City, and all of this is essentially tearing the legacy of the Flash apart. Because now, the Flash is pretty much a criminal. He looks like that to Central City, and now Team Flash have to work together to fix this. And obviously Despero is on the hunt to kill the Flash as well. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see how Black Lightning helps out with this. But the next part of the synopsis is, Iris suspects something is off with Despero's vision of the future, so she seeks help from a powerful ally. So yeah, Iris' suspicion on Despero's vision could simply be that she just believes Barry. It could also be that she has followed Barry's trail when she goes into like an investigation or something, and she finds out that Barry had nothing to do with things like attacking Central City maybe. Who knows? But yeah, in regards to this returning powerful ally, we do obviously know that it is none other than Dion Owens, aka the Still Force. We obviously know that through the promo images. But going into the trailer breakdown, so the trailer opens up with Barry telling Jefferson about his worst day ever and the things he has done. Barry does tell Jefferson that he is experiencing some sort of blackout, which obviously ended up threatening his city as well as his loved ones. Now, personally for me, if you guys have watched my theory video, you guys know that I don't think that it's Barry behind this. I think that Eobard is essentially pulling the strings and he's the one behind this. And he's doing this through time travel and essentially rewrote the timeline. So the theory I have is that the reason Barry doesn't remember anything that has happened is because this is simply a new timeline which has been written. This meaning that someone has obviously changed the timeline continuously to such an extent where Barry doesn't remember what's real and what's not. Now, the reason why this makes sense is because, as we know, when a speedster changes the timeline, for example Flashpoint, the whole timeline is rewritten, changing the memories of every non-speedster around. So in the case of Flashpoint, once again, Wally has always been the permanent speedster. Wally was essentially the Flash of this new timeline. Iris and Barry never grew up with each other, Cisco became a billionaire, and Caitlin was obviously an eye doctor, and all of them had no memories of the previous timeline. Team Flash didn't exist, they were living their lives in this Flashpoint timeline in the way which I explained. So Cisco is a billionaire, Caitlin is an eye doctor, and Wally as the Flash. However, in the case of the speedsters, that being Barry and Ia Barton, aka the Reverse Flash, who were the time travelers, they, on the other hand, remembered everything in the previous timeline, but do not have any trace of memories in this new timeline, because technically speaking, they never lived in it. So it would make sense that if Eobard has time traveled to the past, and he could have disguised himself as Barry, he could have caused all this chaos across Central City to get revenge on Barry from what he did in Season 7, where he's obviously embarrassed him with the speed boost. And what better way to get revenge than to tear the Flash's legacy apart? So he could have disguised himself as Barry, he could have caused chaos across Central City, therefore changing the timeline, and Barry would obviously have no memory of this happening because a speedster would be immune to timeline changes, so he wouldn't be aware of this happening. Therefore, he only has the memories of the timeline prior and not what has been rewritten, which is why he still thinks that Joe is still alive. But yeah, back to the trailer. As I said, Barry does tell Jefferson about these blackouts, and it seems like Jefferson will be working with Barry to get to the bottom of this. Maybe they will construct some sort of a device which requires his abilities in order to find out what's happening with Barry. In the promo images, we do see Barry building this device with the help of Jefferson, which is probably what will help Barry figure out what's actually going on. And also we do have that scene in the trailer where Jefferson shoots lightning at two sides, so they're probably like charging this device or something along those lines. We do also have this scene with Despero in Star Labs playing chess with Star Labs radiation inspectors. This is where Despero would essentially manipulate the chess pieces as a way to control the people of Star Labs, because that is something he does do in the comics as far as I remember, but obviously he does that to the Justice League, he doesn't do that to like any inspectors or anything like that. But maybe evacuating Star Labs could have potentially been Despero's plan all along. Who knows, because later on in the trailer we do get the shot where Despero is frying up that radiation panel, so he's probably making it look worse, so I'm interested to see what's actually going on. We'd also have the Top returning in this episode, and she will be meeting with Cecile, and she will essentially work with Cecile to help evolve her abilities so that they're able to do something against Despero. That's what I'm guessing could happen, because when we close off the trailer, we do see the shot of Cecile with her eyes glowing like different colors, so it seems like she will be evolving with her abilities, and again, that could help be used against Despero. Maybe it could even stop Despero from seeing the future, or just, stop him from tracking Barry down, something along those lines at least. But yeah, we do have some promo images to go over as well, and I will only be going over the main ones because some of them are pretty useless. But we do have this shot of Jefferson and Barry outside the Hall of Justice, and it is at night. So this does lead me to believe that we'll be spending a good chunk of this episode in the Hall of Justice with those two characters. But this is obviously going to be the talk where Jefferson says, "Where's the future?" with Barry responding, "Right here," like we saw in the Season 8 trailer. We do also get this angry shot at Despero, and from his facial expression, you can really tell that the actor is giving it his all. I really like Despero as a villain. He's one of my favorites for sure, and it's only just been 2 episodes, but I'm sure he's going to kill it in episode 3, 4, and 5 as well. But yeah, he is in the Hall of Justice, so it does look like he's found Barry in some way. We do also get the shot where Despero is choking Barry, and it seems like he's about to kill him. And towards the right hand side, we do see that Dion Owens and Iris are over there as well. So it does seem like Dion will possibly be the one who saves Barry from the hands of Despero. We do then have the shot of Barry on the ground, and Iris is trying to see if Barry is okay or not, with Dion looking at someone else. So as I said, this is probably where he uses his freezing abilities to either freeze or vanish Despero from this time period. But I am very interested to see how Despero finds Barry, and I'm also interested to see how Dion plays into this episode as well. He does obviously save Barry from the promo images, you could assume that right away, but other than that, it could be something related to Iris's time sickness story arc. It will also be interesting to see how Dion helps Iris to show Despero that the visions he is seeing are unreliable. That's also pretty interesting. I'm really intrigued to find out what that's all about. But yeah, we do end off the promo images with Dion, Iris, and Barry talking to each other, presumably about what has just happened with Despero attacking and then Dion saving Barry from the hands of Despero. And then to fully end off, we have this shot of Iris, Jefferson, and Dion standing next to each other. Yeah, it does look like we'll be having some really cool fight scenes taking place during this episode, which is very exciting. As I said, Black Lightning will be the main focus of this episode, and then Batwoman, Ryan Choi, and Alex Danvers will be appearing towards the end. That's my theory. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you're most excited to going into episode 3. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.